What's going on, guys? We got another video. This will probably be our final video on the PB Menz PB Special. I'm dropping it off somewhere and we're gonna roll the dice on it. But done a little research on this thing. When I originally got it, I thought it was broken. Turns out it's not broken. It's actually how it's designed. I'm gonna assume whoever had it before me thought it was broken too. So let's take a look at this before I drop it off. Might be the only chance before it drops back off into a collector's hand somewhere, unless it, it gets into Ian's or somebody like that, gets onto their YouTube. So first thing is, this is probably the coolest double action you'll ever see, but also the most useless. As you can see there, so far this is the only pistol marked. There we go. So it appears, and it's kind of agreed between a few people now, that this is a prototype. It's a little unwieldy with this long grip. The others have a much shorter grip. The magazine capacity is 9 or 10. I think it's supposed to be 9, but maybe the mag lips have stretched out or something. Anyway, the way this thing works is, yes, it's a double action. Well, first of all, sorry. The way the slide stop works is there's no way to release it on an empty mag. You got to drop the mag, and either reload a mag or whatever, and then let her go again, and you're ready to rock and roll. Single action, just like any other pistol. There's your single action. Now, this is where this thing differs, and honestly, I thought it was broken, because you pull the trigger back, that's as far as the hammer goes, but it stays. You pull the trigger again, and she releases. Apparently, this is in the design. This isn't a flaw. This thing isn't broken. Glad, I didn't. If I had to pick this up in a pawn shop, we'd have fixed this, but it would have probably just screwed it up more. So that's honestly kind of a cool little feature. Useless, but cool. So let's get a gander at this thing. Got your typical stuff up top. Tiny rear sight. So far, this is the only one of these in the world, and it's possibly the only one they made. It's kind of agreed so far that this is a prototype. So I don't think it went anywhere because another one wasn't made, or another one hasn't been found. So there's that. Let's take her apart, look under the skirt of it, because that's where this thing is kind of neat. We'll drop the mag, and then back, we drop that down, pick up, and pull her off. Slide is pretty basic, nothing right home about right there. You got a firing pin block right there. So that's pretty basic. Spring is, it's pretty basic. But let's get the grips off. Alright, so getting under the skirt of her, what we have here is your typical slide stop. Just comes up and blocks the slide, hits the follower on the magazine. So there's your slide stop. You can't manipulate it other than dropping the magazine and running it that way. So odd feature. The ejector goes down when the slide comes on. That's pretty cool. Pretty crude, but pretty cool. The barrel. I mentioned the barrel last time, and the way the barrel works is it twists in and out. Extractor groove, you turn it, and then you just push it out the back. Like it's through the extractor groove, you got to bring your ejector out. Dang it. And then over the hammer, and she's out. Very simple little tool. Little barrel design. That's stupidly simple, but pretty neat. Going back to the frame, your barrel locks in there. You got your feed ramp. That's whatever. And then you got this whole mechanism over here that runs your hammer. And the way it works is, if you look right here, it's on a little circular thing. It brings the hammer back. That catches down off in here, drops out of the way, and then this interaction right here lets the hammer drop. So cocks it, drops it, cocks it, and drops it. You got a spring holding it down here, got a spring holding it up there. It's just some weird stuff. Very, very cool little setup. Simple trigger bar mechanism. You know, it contacts the trigger under here, goes down there. You got this rides on your slide a little bit to keep it down in there. But it's pretty cool. The only other part, some of these are marked all the way around. The only other part that's marked is the mag release on this one, which kind of backs up that it's the original, because it's kind of where you would, if you welded one together, it's where you would have a weld, but we don't have that. So pretty slick. It'd be cool to have the history of why this was made, you know, if it was for somebody or just experimenting with a little higher capacity. But put it back together. Barrel in from the back, past your ejector, turn it, and lock it back in. You get her seated back on the side right here. And she's back on. Spring back over the barrel. Let's go to the other hand with this. In, down. And you've got your parts back on. Grip. Grips fit pretty well on this, short of the front. It's like they tried to finger groove a little bit, but there you go.